Alright, hello, this will be a fairly short film related to the recent construction drawings that I'm sending over with the film link, dated October 14th. So this is what we had the last time we were looking at it when we were putting this whole foundation in here. And we'll just get rid of that, go with a wood foundation similar to this. And we're really just 2 or 3 alternatives. Once we do that, plan A is just doing that, and I'll show you the outside here in a minute. And this still has that big wide door in here. So going to plan B just leaves everything alone on that wall. Nevertheless, you're still going to cut out some brick and put in a header out here under the end of beam B for the same reason you did before. And then the only thing with C, the only thing C does is changes these exterior walls from stone to a vertical siding. And so this was where we were kind of the last time before I even had updated those column sizes and those newel posts. And then I updated those newel posts, went down to a 2-inch newel post and a 5.5-inch finished column, 5.5-inch finished beams. And I got rid of the stairs up there, put in the little section of railing between the shed and that column. And then there's only 2 columns that are holding up that second floor deck. If you want that deck to be any deeper, those columns have to be LVLs. So this is kind of how it was with this stone going down when we had our, once I'd made these modifications, we had that stone going down to that masonry foundation. And then the only change is like this, where all of this continues around and then this stone is built up on top of that. And nobody's going to really see this little interface here, which is, you know, a little false or whatever. Anyway, and then the only other thing would be putting, you know, a vertical siding or any kind of siding on it, really. And I'm showing a fiber cement siding. These are 12-inch spacing on this board and batten. I would use an 8-inch. I didn't show that. So the construction drawings I'm sending over with this film link are based on this here, with stone here. When I go to the siding, you know, I leave this stone where these beams are engaged with it. This could use some work, I admit, and I don't know if it can be improved enough to work. So to review, and things just continue to occur to me, but this was A, and this is that big wide door, that 12-foot door. And so we go to B, and this is what I'm going to be showing on the construction drawings is B. But what I wanted to say, and this is C with that siding. I'm showing this on the construction drawings, but what I wanted to say about this is, I mean, it looks completely within the realm, considering what the framing is down here, that a person can, if they want to, build subframe across on that treated lumber, treated subframe, and run their cement board down across that, and however close to the ground they think is appropriate, and then run stone just as it's shown here. So it's kind of a oversight or whatever, me putting that masonry foundation, because I think this is completely doable all the way just as I'm showing it. Nevertheless, right now the drawings you have are this here. It is a little less rigmarole for this here. Now, one more thing, and I'll be as brief as possible. When you asked me to actually eliminate the fireplace, the whole chimney and fireplace altogether, but that was, to me, it was driven by eliminating that masonry foundation below, which now it's been eliminated regardless. But my first feeling was that the fireplace was a big part of the whole space in the first place. And I kind of like this off-centering of this door for what it's worth, even though it's not as perfect as that. But I like how this interacts with space, and I like preserving what's there. But with regard to this chimney bit, if you thought, yeah, we're just not going to use the fireplace, then all that goes away, and this projection goes away, and all your beam work stays the same. And this stair set just slides over that way, that 1.5 to 2 foot or whatever it is, which probably helps you with regard to this retaining And so if the chimney's gone, and that is happening, and that happens because there's no reason to have this little platform out here, that's slid over. Then the first thing to know is that these 2x8s or whatever they are, 2x10s or 2x8s, will go up to the 2x4 or the 14-inch LVLs as on this side, unless you added columns. You know, I have 2 columns here, which you're going to want to do anyway to hold your TV, or to create some sort of thing to hold your TV. Then in terms of, there's a variety of things you can do to create a place to put a big television at this end. You know, and I don't know right offhand whether or not you would add columns here, a couple columns about the corners of the fireplace, where the fireplace used to be, and maybe a shelving across there. There's just from everything that's happening through here, this up and down that's going on, I could easily see something creative put together at this end. So that's I just wanted to mention that before I went. That's all. Thanks very much. I appreciate it.